Hello, my fellow chatterers and book lovers, and anyone else who has got lost or has popped in because you're curious. That's not how I usually do it. That's thrown me, but that's fine. Welcome everyone. I'm Chatty. This is my channel, Chatty the Mad Chatter, and I'm going to be chatting away madly and joyfully because it is Joy Reading June. This is a readathon where you read joyfully, and this is being done in memory of Alice, who was a fantastic booktuber and a lovely friend. There are videos that I'm linking down below, so please go and check them out. These are all the announcement videos by her really close group of friends. That is Emily from Novelle Novels, Jack from Spread Book Joy, Charlie from Brook Reads, and Dani from Dani's Books. So they have put these readathon together because this is something that Alice wanted to do and was encouraging everyone to do, but sadly she died before she did it. So in honour of her memory, to keep her memory alive, to keep talking about books and the joy and the wonderfulness that Alice brought to the world, this is a yearly thing that they are doing. So I thought I would do a little bit of a joyful reading vlog. I'm going to be going to London tomorrow to meet up with some booktubers and enjoy some joyful reading. I'm also going to do a little bit of book shopping before I meet them, so I just thought I'd take you with me and just share some book joy. Before I do all of that, I want to show you one of the books I'm not necessarily going to be reading on this journey, but I'm definitely wanting to pick up throughout Joy Reading June. This is one that I'm specifically planning. Everything else is just going to be what I sort of feel like. And that's because I wanted to get a book that makes me think of Alice. So I have some books on my shelf that I've previously done. So I specifically got this, Cloud Cuckoo Land by Anthony Doerr, because you always saw it on the back of Alice's videos. It was one of her favourite books. And I was really intrigued and wanted to read it and heard really good things. Another book I know she really loved was Lucy Mangan's Bookworm, a memoir of childhood reading. Unfortunately, I didn't like Cloud Cuckoo Land, but I want to keep it for sentimental values because I picked it up and saw it and it made me think of Alice, so that's why I'm keeping this one. More than happy to chat with people about why I didn't get on with it. Hoping to have some conversations like that tomorrow. But one I did really enjoy was Bookworm. I absolutely love this book. This was a real kind of like comfort read, absolute joy. It's one that's easy to pick up and put down because it's a memoir, because it's kind of broken down into different stages of her life. You can easily kind of pick it up again. It's got a really warm feel to it, a lot of nostalgia, a lot of reminiscence, a lot of book loveriness. So this one I read when I was feeling a little bit, wasn't mega slumpy, but I think I'd read a lot of heavy books recently. I think I'd been disappointed by books I wanted to enjoy and they weren't as good as what I hoped they would be. So picking this one up and reading this definitely got me back vibing and buzzing about books again. So I really had a great time with this one. The book I've chosen to read is a book in a completely different direction, not one, I can't think of one or one that I've got on my radar that I know Alice really enjoyed, but this is Alice with a Y. It's Return to Wonderland by Anna James. So it's got Alice's name in the title, so obviously it's going to make me think of Alice. And obviously on this channel, I do enjoy Alice in Wonderland. I do enjoy lots of Alice in Wonderland links. And this is definitely reading joyfully because this is actually one of the books that's in my TBR tin. So I could easily have gone, I'm not going to read this because I've already added it to something that I'm doing. But if I pull it out, I'm just going to discard it because hopefully I just want to read it now. So it doesn't matter, it's in my tin. I'm feeling in the mood for this book. I also loved, we have the Waterstone sprayed edges here. So we've got lots of plants and can I read the writing? No is the answer. I think that says him, either houses or mouses, the pla, the or, I'm presuming that's change, but I can't see the C, before milk jug. I mean, I'm just enjoying that it has before milk jug. I'll take that. Dice and the other ones. Before milk jug. That's what it says on the spine. So I'm really excited for this one. This is going to give me a lot of joy. I'm going to have a nice warm cup of tea and I am going to indulge in a bit of bedtime reading, and it is another middle grade. The next book in the Skandar along for June is one I need to read. This is Skandar and the Skeleton Curse by A.F. Steadman. This is the 4th book. We're doing a Skandar along on Middle Grade Mad Chat, which is my middle grade based Discord, and I'm absolutely loving this series. This is middle grade fantasy. It's a found family of kids that I absolutely adore. There's a wonderful magical system. There's a wonderful world building. The plot has me on the edge of my seat. I am concerned about characters. There's all sorts of stuff going on. And also it's got a wonderfully inclusive cast as well, and promotes a lot of non-judgment, welcome people vibes. Terribly put, but it's getting late and I don't always have the words. So I'm going to be tucking into this. Hopefully I will actually allow myself to sleep and not just power through. I'm hoping to be reading this on the train and maybe a little bit at the night cafe tomorrow. I am a poly reader. I don't like having just one book available to me. So even though I know I'm going to absolutely love Skandar and want to read, and I know I'm going to want to buy books tomorrow, so I would have more when I've bought them, I want to take another book with me, and I want to have another book that I know I'm going to be reading alongside. I don't want to take any adult fantasy because I have a book in mind that I want to purchase. So giving me something different, so I've got different choices depending on my mood. I'm feeling in the mood for a non-fiction, which is not something I usually say. But I do feel I think it's going to work really well alongside Skandar, because Skandar's going to be all encompassing. So it's going to be nice to just be able to check into something completely different. And I know I'm going to have like a decent amount of time on the train tomorrow where I can just read uninterrupted, which is really nice when you're reading a non-fiction, because I feel it kind of goes in better. But I can't decide. I have 2 non-fictions. So the first one is quite a random one. This is just something that I'm personally interested in. So this is A Home for All, a Catholic call for LGBTQ, hasn't got the plus, but I'm adding it in there, plus non-discrimination. And this is by Francis de Bernardo and Robert Shine. So I think this is a collection of different, so we've got lots of kind of almost like different essays about the Catholic Church trying to be more inclusive of LGBTQ plus people. And when you have sort of official doctrine that is not inclusive, that is exclusive and basically doesn't agree with them. Although we're getting it, this is getting a lot more complicated now. We don't need philosophy on this. Anyway, I don't agree that the Catholic Church doesn't welcome LGBTQ plus people. We're all God's children. Everyone should be welcome. So I have been following for a while Catholics that are promoting LGBTQ plus people as part of the community, and encouraging more kind of theology on that way. I follow New Ways Ministry, where they send you emails with kind of different like essays written by people, and on one of those they spoke about this book, and I looked it up and I bought it for myself. It's only a very tiny one, but I really want to read it because I'm very passionate about this, because I'm Catholic and I don't agree with the Catholic Church's official teaching on the LGBTQ plus community. So this is going to be really interesting for me. But also it's quite short, and there is another book that I'm also really keen to read, and this is Before We Were Trans, a new history of gender by Kit Hayham. I'm very keen to read this one. I have not read many history books about transgender history. I've read some books where it's been like alluded to in a chapter or it's been covered, but this is one that goes fully into it. So I'm really keen to keep up my knowledge on this, to find out more about this subject. And I think it's so important in the current climate where we're getting more right wing, we're getting more anti-trans like hatred and propaganda coming forward. So I think when you can do something in support and to try and uplift trans voices, it's really important. So these are my selection of 3 books that I've been reading on the train. Note, they're all paperbacks, so much easier to carry and much easier to travel with. And then I've got room for other books. Woohoo! So I'm going to say good night now, and I will see you in the morning. Good morning. And it is a bit of a grey start to the day. And it is raining. Darn it. Oh well, at least the grass will be pleased. As an extra layer of joy, I will be wearing my new bookish dress, which was a gift from one of my best friends for my 40th birthday. I'm also going to be wearing the other gifts from my other set of best friends. So I have some cute booky earrings. I have a silver bracelet and some more earrings with a crystallized cloud and raindrops, which really makes me think of Encanto. And some very Catholic socks, which my husband brought me back from Lourdes with Mary on, which make me laugh. And my wonderful workmates got me, amongst a few things, some Waterstones vouchers, which is why I'm very excited to go and spend them. I really am looking forward to going and physically shopping for a book rather than just getting something from the internet, because I just think it's more fun. So, British summertime, well, technically still spring. What's it gonna be? Raincoat or sun hat? The rain has not magically gone away. It has momentarily paused, which is great. So this means I should get a move on to get to the station before it chucks it down again. Woo! It's very, very rainy. It's just spitting at the moment. But there's a very big breeze, as you can probably hear. So this is probably very unintelligible footage. But I'm still incredibly joyful. I'm so excited. I'm feeling like I just want to go and hug everyone and chat really loudly at everyone. So I'm going to try and rein that, hold that in a little bit. But I'm so excited to be going and doing booky things and chatting with booky people. And yeah, I'm just really hyped. So I didn't get to read a huge amount of Skandar because I was trying to hurry. Last night I didn't read anything because I was editing a video because it's taking me forever, and I was like, I really want to get this video done so that I can clear all the footage off my phone. So I have got plenty of room left to film today. So I was like, this kind of needs to get up on YouTube so I can get rid of it all. So by the time I'd done that, I had my book. I woke up this morning with my book next to me and my light still on. So I think I lay back. I was like, oh, I'll just pick it up in a moment. I am crossing the road carefully, don't worry. I'll pick it up in a moment, and then I never did. I started it this morning, so I read the prologue. I obviously can't tell you that much because it's the fourth book in the series. But prologues always start off with kind of mystery, what's going to be happening in this story, little kind of hints, and then you start off with Skandar, and a little bit of a lighter time. So it's great to be back with him and his friends, and that's all I can really say. I'm looking forward to having more fun with that. I'll be able to talk to you a little bit more about the other books I've got with me. We'll see what I fancy when I finally get to the train station. There you go. Just need to make sure I don't leave any bags on the train. Well, I've recovered from the rain quite a bit now, and as you can see, it's very sunny outside, so that's much better. I'd rather have a raincoat and it be sunny than have a sun hat and it to be rainy. Rather a lot of luggage with me. So I've had a bit of a clear out of some books, and I thought I would bring them with me to see if anyone wanted them, and if not, I'd pop them in a charity shop. So here I have got One Middle Grade by Gareth, which is The Wrath of the Wollington Worm, Miss Mary Kate Martin's Guide to the Monsters. I really enjoyed reading this book, but I don't think it's one I'm going to reread. I'm going to reread, so it's going to go. I have Tracy Chevalier's Burning Bright, which was a historical fiction which involved a circus, and also William Blake. I really enjoyed reading it, but again, I'm not going to read it again, so I think someone else will enjoy it more. And it also comes with a little historical guide of the history of Burning Bright and the research that Tracy Chevalier did, which is and I now have Conjure Woman by Afia Atakaro. This I did get in a book box, and it came with a little postcard with the cover on and a bit of information. So I put those in the book as well, just in case it'd be interesting. Again, I enjoyed reading it, but it's not one that I'm going to reread. And then in this book bag, because I wanted to give it some extra protection, I have The Deathless Girls by Kieran Millward Hargrave. This is a really beautiful book. It has illustrated end pages and foil. There we go, foil under the dust jacket. I got this off World of Books, and I was very excited to have got it. I enjoyed my time reading it, but again, it's not one I'm going to reread, so I thought this lovely copy could go to someone who would appreciate it more. So we'll see if anyone does actually want them, and if not, then I'm sure we'll find a nice charity shop somewhere that will take them on. So I'm only a few chapters into reading A Home for All. It's laid out really beautifully. It's got 12 kind of points of discussion, and it also has lots of quotes and testimonies from different people within the Catholic faith, people who are also Catholic and part of the LGBTQ+ community. And already I am needing to put it down to just have a moment. It doesn't sound like I'm going to be talking very joyfully about this, but it is joyful. It's just a lot of... It just should be simple. It just should be simple. Like, we're all human and we should all accept each other. Like, it should be that, but it isn't. And obviously, two things I need to bear in mind with this is this was written in 2022. So obviously things have moved on within 4 years, and also this is set in America. So things are obviously a bit different country to country. But I think that's still that feeling that not everyone is welcomed in faith because of who they are, and there's some really powerful points in here. I also just want to point out that age is not a claim for ignorance. You know, gay people, lesbians, trans people have been around for years, and it's not a young person thing. And there's a lovely sister here who's a pastoral minister who spoke about her work with the transgender community and how much they have to offer and how much love she has for them and they have for their faith and the difficulties that they face, and it was just really moving. And one of the other testimonials right at the beginning, I'm going to read a quote. So this is from Reverend Brian Massingale, and it says, he says, my whole ministry in some way has been to help the church catch up to God, to help the church understand that God has already gifted people of colour with dignity and value and worth, and God has already gifted the LGBTQ+ people with dignity, value and worth. It's our Christian conviction that lives are sacred, thus no life is less valuable than any other. It goes into more details, but I just think, like, yeah, absolutely, that is the whole purpose of all of this. So even though, like, it's going to be really easy just to quickly get through this all, I just want to kind of sit with those two chapters for now, and then kind of come back to it a bit later on. So I'm on the underground now, and I am going to be going to Gower Street because that is my favourite Waterstones. There's a lot of selection there, and so I'm going to see if I can spend my vouchers. Raining on my parade. I have made it! Hooray! Let's get out this rain. I really enjoy the feel of Gower Street Waterstones. I first came here on the first Booktube Meetup that I attended, and I just love all the staircases and the scope of different books that you can get here and how big the different sections are. I love this archway made of books. And here, it feels like you're in a tree house when you're in the YA section. So many books. My little dormouse would love this. Graphic novels are his favourite obsession at the moment. I really want to read the Unicorn Boy series, but we don't have book one here. This classic crime display is so fun. Lots of gorgeous Agatha Christie editions. Now I need fantasy books. Where is the fantasy? Oh, this is very rude. The only C.L. Clarke book is one copy of The Unbroken in paperback. Shocking. There's the rest of the series. Where are our 2 new novellas? So it's a little bit sunnier, but it's still raining. And I'm now off to go and get the tube, where I am going to go and meet everyone for Pizza Express. Slight nightmare with the tubes, and I've fallen over on a slippy wet floor. But lovely people helped me up, so there we go. See, Londoners do care about each other, it's fine. And I'm nearly at my destination, so that'd be great, because I'm really hungry now. I did buy a couple of books from Waffle, which I can show you later on. And I've just been checking on my Discord, so I started Skandar today, and Stacey has just said she's finished. Last time I checked, she was on like chapter 8. I was hoping to catch up with her. Clearly these books are really addictive. I made it to Pizza Express. Now who can I find upstairs? I am hearing lots of chatty voices. And there they all are. Look at those delightful faces. And again, wonderful Katie Lumsden for managing to put all of this together. Such a fantastic person keeping all these community meetups going. We were just missing Risha, who joined us at the night cafe. Some absent faces who were very much missed, but were with us in spirit.
Peach and parma ham.
What's on your pizza?
I have peach on my pizza.
Next we went to the night cafe, and I will put the information about that in the description box, and also links to all of the booktuber channels. Here is the book cat to greet us. Doesn't look impressed by me, I'm very sorry. I'll direct my attention elsewhere. Hi Jen!
Okay, downstairs. Downstairs and upstairs.
Hello!
Oh, where's everybody gone? Oh, hi. But I don't think there's enough room for everyone upstairs.
You can't really see, but that is a neon cat sleeping, and it says that the library is open. Going upstairs. That might be fun.
Not the same as I wear the Kindle, is it?
Oh, what have you got on your Kindle, Ros?
Lonesome Dove, I was just saying.
Lonesome Dove,
I've got
lovely.
to read Lonesome
Behind on her body read.
Oh no, Ros!
But I'm never behind. I'm very conscientious in my budget reading.
Roy?
I've got Yesteryear.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah, everyone's been talking about that. I'm reading The Two Roberts.
Jenny's read it.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be on a train, it's something that's pretty much guaranteed.
We love a reread.
I've finished this Sumac book, and then I'm going to read June on the Range, Richard
Sounds
Matheson.
good.
Nice.
June on the Range, any more?
And then I decided to be really on the nose, and I've got The Social Life of Books. Where else to read them? Then socially with my booktube friends.
Beautiful. Rave toilet, anyone? Yes, it has thunderstorm clouds and a rave button in the toilet. Marvellous. Going downstairs. Some crazy disco stuff going on, but look, there's BB-8. We like BB-8. And a shock, just for fun. Lovely mood lighting.
So you don't even have to pay for the drinks?
Yeah, you have to pay for the cans.
Not the tipple. Yeah. Oh, geez,
Hi, Dani. Hi. This is Dani getting off the bed. It's beautiful and elegant.
Could have been more unflattering.
Surprise!
Going to get on the trail, but once they're on, it's like, it's very good.
Just stick with it. I'll get this.
I think it's because the beginning is like, it feels like a very slow start. So, yeah.
I'm really liking it.
It's really well, it's great. I enjoyed it from it, but it feels like you're like, oh, it's supposed to be, when's this journey?
I do love a book game, and we played a couple. This one is where we decided the publication order from the oldest to the newest. And if you would like to play along yourself, then do indulge. We had 11 books. Charlotte and Arthur by Pauline Clooney. Special Deliverance by Clifford D. Simak. Legendaria by Janina Ramirez. We Hexed the Moon by Molly Hall Seeley. Skandar and the Skeleton Curse by A.F. Stedman. Fingersmith by Sarah Waters. The Two Roberts by Damien Barr. Ride the River by Louis L'Amour. The Social Life of Books by Abigail Williams. Mr. Wakefield's Crusade by Bernice Rubens. And The Painter's Daughter by Emily Howes. Can you do better than this library of booktubers?
You can't tell me.
I'm sure it was, yeah.
So that's the newest one.
This is not very old.
Yeah,
That's
The Two Roberts is new.
Yeah,
That's, that's probably the newest.
which one?
Two Roberts.
Because that's only just come out.
Yeah.
And then Fingersmith is what, like 2000 or something?
Yeah.
I think. I don't know about this one.
Really unhealthy. I don't know.
What, mine are?
I think that's right. New one, is it? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. What's this one?
No! Cheating!
Title. Jen, what you take me for?
1983.
Oh, there we go.
I think we might have made a mistake.
Is this 70s or 80s?
1983.
Oh! I think that's a win for
I
us.
think that's 85, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, well, that would be
it might be
excellent.
alright.
So, yeah, 85.
Oh.
We're doing well so far.
Let's start with
Yeah. 90, what do you say?
I think it's 2002.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right, doesn't
They're
it?
all easy
2002, yeah.
Hey.
So,
Oh,
This is a mystery.
Charlotte, what
this
is
one,
your
so-
book? What year?
2017.
Oh. That's going to be fun.
Let's find out. Well, this one is dedicated to teenagers of 2020, but I haven't yet found the book.
Oh,
Where is the
so
copyright
far
date?
we are doing well.
We're seeming like order so far, isn't it?
I mean, maybe
That's really peculiar.
weird.
There's no
Well, how do you put
publication
your
date.
copyright? Oh, to 2025. So this is.
Oh.
We made some mistakes, everybody. Okay. So we're doing well, but I.
This should be 25. Or 24.
24.
Oh, okay.
So we're
Okay, so we're still in order.
We're
at the
okay.
We're doing so well. 2021.
Oh.
You want some 2026 ones?
2024
Oh.
again.
Not too bad. So just one, just two maybe that are out of place.
And then that's 2025.
And that's
Two Roberts.
2025.
Yeah.
And then that was.
That was,
This was
So it's just
2025.
two-
So
Also-
yeah. So we did pretty well. Pretty well. Well done, team. Woo! So really, quite an excellent job from the Booktubers collective. Only two that were in the wrong place. And how did you do? Did you get full marks on your publishing knowledge? 1983, we had both Ride the River and Special Deliverance. 1985, Mr. Wakefield's Crusade. 2002, Fingersmith. 2017, The Social Art of Books. 2021, Charlotte and Arthur. 2024, Skandar and the Skeleton Curse. and the Painter's Daughter, 2025, Legenda, We Hex the Moon, and The Two Roberts. Bit sweaty because I just ran for the train. My train was leaving in 5 minutes, so I thought, quick, go! But it's been, apart from the running bit, which was stressful, it's been really, really relaxing. Up until that point, I was really chilled. I'm going to try and recapture some of that chilledness. Yeah, we had a really lovely day. Hopefully, glasses are steaming up now. Hopefully you get a piece of that from what I have recorded. But the night cafe is just such a gorgeous location. It's just really like quirky but really relaxing. The downstairs room was a little bit psychedelic for some people. I could totally understand why. There's lots of like flashy lights and it's quite dark. But upstairs they have this really like squashy sofa and all the walls are lined with bookshelves. And yeah, it's really relaxing. There was like a bit of smooth jazz and like a scene on a screen of like a cozy place. Yeah, it was very, very calm and relaxing. So yeah, really enjoyed chatting with everyone, meeting everyone again, and there were some friends who were missed, but I had a very nice, joyful day. Not a huge amount of reading done, did not get very far, mainly talking, and I did spend quite a lot of my reading time also trying to upload some of my thoughts on Discord as well, and responding to previous chat on there, so I felt I was in a good space. A lot happens in the first 2 chapters already. Like I haven't even finished chapter 2 and I had to have a little rant about stuff that's made me angry, but for good reasons. Like plot wise it's great, for the characters not so good, but yeah, I had a great time with that. So I did pack myself like a picnicky dinner, so I'm going to tuck into that and do some reading, and I will let you know more of the thoughts on the books as they go. But yeah, very, very joyful day. Very, very joyful day. Hello, it is now Sunday in the afternoon. So I thought I'd just wrap up this video, letting you know a little bit more about how I got on with the books, and I will show you my purchases as well. But it has been a very joyful weekend. I've enjoyed myself immensely. This is how far I am into Skandar and the Skeleton Curse. So I just over halfway. I think that's just over. No, more. It's more than halfway. If I put it like that. Yeah, I've definitely read more than. I'd say 3/4, maybe, or 2/3. 2/3, because we're going to be pedantic about this apparently. And this book is really hard to put down. I've had to force myself to put it away and to be constructive today. But I'm just loving this series. I'm loving this series, and this book feels like a very kind of climactic book of the series. Like things have really come to a head in this one, and I think the original themes are really playing their role in this book. They're definitely being explored, and I feel the way the series, the kind of the purpose of the series, like you go in expecting, like, you know, fantasy series, like all fantasy series, good versus evil, blah blah blah, and I think this one has a lot more to say on like societal structure, and a lot to say on people categorizing, discrimination, differences, and that kind of thing. And I had a really lovely chat on my way to mass this morning with my Mad March hair, as I was explaining where I'd got to in the book and what we were both enjoyed about it, and how we really hate a character in this book. They've not yet hit what's his name? The person that I hate from the Live Ship series. You may be confused as to who that is. Kennett. Hasn't hit Kennett levels of hatred for me yet, but close. And I'd say probably a most hated middle grade character, I think. And I love that. I'm reading it and I was angry, but I love it at the same time, and I've maintained that. There's a really wonderful, I shared it on Discord, a really wonderful like quotable piece. And I was just talking and discussing this morning about how even though you can have like these fantasy worlds, these fantasy books, it's like you have these fantastical worlds and you have all these wonderful kind of characters and this magic. Essentially what the books focus on are things that are so relevant to real life and the themes of it, and how kind of dictatorships can rise and how people's words can say one thing but mean something else, and just all of this stuff that's very kind of relevant to one, our history, and to also present day. And you know how you can definitely see the similarities in discrimination within this magical world to discrimination within our world. So yeah, it was a really fun chat. And one of the reasons why I just think middle grade books are amazing, to be able to have those levels of conversation, to be able to have this like shared empathy and all of these things. I'd love to do a video going more into why I feel this series is fantastic, why I disagree with comments by what's his name? It's going to come to me later. But people who've made comments where they say, you know, stories are just for fun, they're not here to be like political. I think they're just so good for building understanding, building empathy, and making us think about things a different way. And thinking is a wonderful thing. We should welcome thinking. We should welcome critical thought. We should welcome making your own choices about the evidence that's put in front of you, and not just agreeing with everything we're told by authorities. Anyway, that was a big tangent I wasn't intending to go on. Back to the joy reading. But I find these things joyful. Like, that is what I really get a huge amount of joy out from my books. I love books where we explore all those themes, but with characters that we absolutely love. And this found family of 4 in here, my ride or dies. The way those characters have grown, the way this friendship has developed, like how strong they are, how much they have each other's backs, it's just the best. It is so perfect. And yeah, I just want to give them all a big squeezy hug. It's great. Right, I'm hitting gush mode now. I'm not saying anything relevant anymore. So I think that's all I can say on this book at the moment. I am doing my best to try and do actual specific things and then reward myself with some reading after I've done those things, because I could easily sit on my sofa, lie in my bed and just read until I finish this. And I completely understand why everyone has raced through these. Okay, moving on. So my other 2 books that I started as part of Joy Reading Doom, A Home for All, A Catholic Call for LGBTQ Non-Discrimination by Francis de Bernardo and Robert Shine. I didn't read any more of this on the train. I very much felt in a mood where I wasn't ready to deal with heavy topics anymore for that day, and it was very much, I was just captivated by Skandar, needed to read that, and I also read one of my new books too. But I'm definitely going to enjoy working my way through this over the next week. I'm kind of just sitting with different parts of it. I already feel that I'm excited to be sharing this with people, and I feel it's going to continue to explore different ideas, and it's going to be really nice to listen to people who have got different experiences to me that feel similar ways. I did start Before We Were Trans, A New History of Gender by Kit Hayam. I'm not very far into the book. I've got like a couple of pages left of the introduction that then goes into the author's note, which is very much sort of like setting the scene for how the book is going to be exploring the subject. I always find like the introduction like really good to kind of get our understanding, so you know where the book is going to be going on from that. I think particularly with very complex things like gender, which is very hotly disputed at the moment. So I think looking at how even when we talk about it today, it can mean different things to different people, even if those same people agree on kind of the fundamentals of it. So exploring kind of where the author is coming from, and what they mean by the language, and also looking at that as how it was explored in the past. So gender used in the past tended to mean more of like a genre, and sex was used for both sex and gender, and also exploring the ideas of what's not innate in everyone and what we kind of learn through social constructs, exploring all of those things. The author also discusses their gender identity and how they refer about themselves and what gender means to them and what they're going to be exploring, and also kind of respecting the dignity of those in the past, and appreciating we don't have the same language, and it's trying to explore, you know, this might have meant this, but it also might have meant this for them. So I'm enjoying where we're kind of going to go with this, and enjoying the kind of variety that's going to be looked at here, because I know Kit Hayman explores trans history like across the world history, not just confined to I suppose the history of gender throughout one particular country, which I think is going to be really interesting. And I do enjoy that as well. And we have kind of the idea of colonization, and how that has affected people's beliefs and things from what they had before their country was invaded by the West. So it's going to be a really juicy one to explore, and I'm really looking forward to it. But again, I need to have the right brain energy levels to be able to read it. But when I do, I feel it is going to be very joyous, because I do enjoy this type of non-fiction. So I did enjoy doing a book shopping, and I know there are lots of books that I can access on the internet but I really was hoping to kind of find physical copies of them, because I prefer that way of buying books. But I think for certain ones that I have my eye on, I am gonna do more of an internet. So I didn't spend all of my vouchers, but I'm very pleased with the books that I did get. So I had ideas of types of books that I was looking for. Obviously middle grade is always something I'm going to enjoy, so I wanted to see if there were any middle grade books that caught my eye. I was toying with some that I've had on my list for a while. I ended up not going with middle grade, because I have got a lot of middle grade that I'm going to be reading, and I went with books that I felt like reading joyfully right now. So one book is a book that I have already read, but I want my own copy of. If you have the eyeballs, you'll see behind me that I have got Heartstopper graphic novels. I very much enjoy my collection of the Heartstopper books, because I love them a lot and wanted to have the edition that I most enjoyed. So I have got 3 of the books in the Fairy Loot covers. I wasn't able to get the first one because I hadn't joined Fairy Loot when they first started doing them. But what I do love is that I have got a paperback which has got a foiled, it's got like a metallic spine, so it kind of matches, and it also does have sprayed edges. And then there was a little an exclusive mini comic of Nick and Charlie when they're a bit older as well. So this one does feel very special. So the other 3, I have got volumes 2, 3 and 4 in the Fairy Loot editions, where they have got their hardback. They have got a dust jacket with foil edges. They all have sprayed edges, and I love that each book has end pages. So we've got pink with blue stars on book 2. Then we have Nick and Charlie under the dust jacket in teal foiling, with Nick holding Nellie and Charlie with a little heart bubble. And then book 3, we have got green with red flowers on the end pages, and under the dust jacket we have got a red hardback with green teal of Nick and Charlie in Paris taking a little selfie. And then on volume 4 of Heartstopper, we have purple end pages with yellow hearts, and it is a purple hardback with Nick and Charlie in gold under an umbrella, and Nick is holding Charlie is holding the latest Nick puppy, which is a little pug. But unfortunately, I was an hour too late when the release thing went out for the Heartstopper 5. I didn't think it was that big a deal, because you can still buy Heartstopper 4 on their website. But no, it had gone. They'd all gone. They weren't doing anymore, but you can still buy Heartstopper 4. So I felt very sad. I looked and I've looked and it's ridiculous. Anyone that is selling it, it's ridiculous amounts of money. So I've made my peace with the fact that my collection is going to be slightly odd, but it will be still gorgeous nonetheless. And it's just going to be a little bit more eclectic in appearance. So I treated myself to Heartstopper 5, the Waterstones hardback. So it looks slightly different to the Fairy Loot ones, but it's still a hardback. We have an orange spine with blue foiling, and we have the outline of Nick and Charlie in blue foiling on the front cover. And then we have end pages with orange, and then we've got blue leaves, yellow stars and white hearts on it. And it also says there is a little exclusive extra comic in there as well. And I did read the first little bit on the train and enjoyed just being able to have the Nick and Charlie story again. So I am going to be reading this one at some point throughout June, and that's just going to be a nice, very joyful reading experience for me. Can I put it on the shelf? I'm going to have to move someone off in order to get it on the shelf. But for some reason I'm putting it backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think it's because of the first book kind of fits more aesthetically pleasing this way. Right, what can we knock off the end? You can't see it, but I've got a hardback of Moon Spinners that I'm just gonna pop up here. It's not the best plan, but it'll do for now, just so I can shunt everyone along. At some point I do want the whole of why is this not moving? Oh, is that better? Yes. The whole of Alice Oseman's collection on my shelves, because I just love her books. Her books are gorgeous. There we go. And that still looks very lovely. We've got an array of colours going along there. And then when the 6th book comes out very, very soon, I'm going to have to wait until we get the Waterstones hardback edition. But I've waited a really long time for Heartstopper 5, so it's going to be worth it. So the other book, I had an adult fantasy that I was very excited to get hold of, despite me having another book by this author under my bed totally unread. But I love Catherine Arden's Winter Night trilogy. I've read it twice. Loved it even more the second time round. I think she's incredible. I don't feel like reading A Warm Hands of Ghosts at the moment, because for me it feels very kind of November-y when I want to read it. Like, I want to be by a fire. I want it to be kind of like grey outside and drizzly with probably some mist and smog because I'm weird and pretentious. But her latest book, The Unicorn Hunters, I am very excited to pick up now. So this is set in Brittany, and it is medieval, which is a very vague term if you're wanting to pinpoint dates. Medieval, that's where we're going. So pre-1500s, post, I'd say between 15 and 1300 is where I'm going to guess. Does it actually give you a date? It does not, but it's the general era. So Brittany is its own country. France is a separate country to it. France wants to absorb Brittany. There has been a war between Brittany and France. Lots of people have died, and the Kingdom of Brittany is now in the hands of Anne, who is a 19-year-old girl. And I have read the beginning of this and I am loving it already. So we are already introduced. The Catherine Arden's just atmosphere, place setting, you're just there. Like, the visuals are visualing. I can like feel the cold weather of Brittany and these big medieval castles and these tapestries, and I can feel the tension that they have about, you know, the fragility of their kingdom being absorbed into France. And we have Anne, who is very good at court politics. She has been learning this. She has got a natural affinity for it, and she's quite passionate about it. And she's got a lot of good people around her who actually trust her. And I'm definitely getting the just like we did in the Winter Night trilogy, where you can really feel the historical accuracy in it. You can really feel like the layers of place in there, and you absolutely have this strong female protagonist that is going to use her brain to sort things out. And I definitely get the same impression from this book. And I've already enjoyed a bit of court politics that we've had going on here. Unicorn Hunters there is a legend that there is a unicorn in the kind of surrounding woods. And this was still within the time where there was a certain belief in, were legends real? There was still that kind of feeling that it might not be an actual legend, it could be real, it's just really elusive. So there's that kind of exciting, fantastical element to it. But then I think we're going to get more of a fantasy layer put on top of the history, just like we did within the Winter Night trilogy. And I'm really excited for all of that. So I think this is going to be incredible. It's giving me a huge amount of joy. And I really wanted to get the hardback edition. I really wanted these red, not just red, are they? They're more of like a crimson, maroon. I'd say more maroon than crimson because it's a bit darker, with like gold. They're not fleur-de-lis, but it's got that kind of little flowy, swirly medieval bits going on. And then on the end pages, you have got these hunting dogs and birds. Again, with this, we've got a burgundy background. And then in silver foiling, we have got a unicorn with a bird perched on its horn. So yes, it's a really nice copy. And I do definitely feel that it's a book I'm going to love. So I'm very, very happy with this purchase as well. Not putting it on a shelf because I am going to be reading this. Pretty sure I'm just going to be barreling ahead with Skandar because I'm not going to be able to concentrate on anything else until Skandar's done. But then I will be continuing to read The Unicorn Hunters along with my 2 non-fiction. And then we'll see what else I pick up that feels very joyful. Thank you so much for coming along for this ride. I've really had fun vlogging. I've not done it. I've done little bits before, but I haven't done it as intensely as this one. I just decided I was going to talk on the camera and not worry about other people on the train. And it was fine. Like, no one batted an eyelid. No one seemed to like turn around and give me weird looks. No one said any comments about why are you talking and filming on your phone. So it was completely fine. So I had a great time. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. And please tell me what you are joyfully reading in June. I would love to hear about it. So you know I love a chat. And if you want to let me know you were here but don't know what to say, please do leave me a unicorn emoji. Happy reading, everyone.